a lot of producers started 4-5 years ago, 7 years ago. Today they are 1,000 crore worth. This business will you come with some 40-50 crore, can become 1,000 crores in 5 years time.
Hi guys, this is Kishore from RedCarpet. We are launching our first Dream Big podcast series, and today we have with us Vishal from Echelon. Hi Vishal.
Hi.
Vishal is from Echelon Productions, and today we're going to talk about filmmaking, the movie business, and the creative side of it, and everything, how one can basically start a film, even invest in it, and in those who are aspiring actors, directors, writers, how you can make a career from this industry. Hey Vishal, thank you so much for coming to Big Dreams Red Carpet episode.
Thank you, Kishore, for having me over. I'm very excited for your first podcast.
Thank you very much. So Vishal, before I can get into the podcast and ask you questions, how do you feel like where you are today, making big movies with big stars? Do you feel like you have arrived, or you're at the tipping point where you just kind of want to take off to the next level? How do you feel?
So I start with this. I really feel content, very happy. I spent a lot. I think as a company, as an Echelon, we started off like 10 years ago. Very niche, small, independent production house we had. And it's a very boutique studio, I would say. Now where are we, where we are as a team, as a company, I believe we have kind of moved on from where we started from. And I'm on the verge where we can break out. As a company, we can break out. We are looking at films from small to medium size. We're making some big budget film as well. And in your career, you feel at the stage of your life, we can make it or break it, right? Mm-hmm. This is where we are. And I'm sure we will make it. The kind of content we have, the kind of talent we have on board. So yeah, I think this is a year.
Well, I'm so looking forward to all your movies that you're going to be releasing in 2025. But let's kind of go back into your childhood days and your early journeys. Can you kind of share what is it that when you were growing up and you spent your years in school or college, what really influenced you that has made you do what you're doing today in media side, on the film side? If you could share a little background about before this.
So I'm from Karnal, Haryana. I'm from that I'm from North India. I was born there. But my father moved. So my father moved a lot of places, a lot of cities. I think that helped me a lot to understand the culture of the people, how they behave, the emotions, I would say. And I always tell my team as well and everyone who are working with that, try to understand the emotions, how people behave, what they want to see in cinemas. And they relate better if they've seen something before. Mm-hmm. So I moved a lot. I moved countries, I would say. My father was a businessman, trying different businesses. So when I kind of understood the world, I was already in a family where we're talking about numbers and businesses, and different businesses. But actually what influenced me in this business, I would say, is my mother's father, my nana, my maternal father-in-law. He was in forces. He was a very senior officer in police, and he's from Haryana as well. But his roots are from UP. It's UP, and my mom was in Punjab. So they all are very big filmy lovers. They had this occasion, I had to go meet them in summers. So every Sunday, they had a ritual family to go and watch a movie. So I stood with them because I was spending most of my summers with them. Because my mother is very close to her father. So I think it started from there. And then my father was into electronic business when I was growing up. Okay. So we had showrooms of TV and other things to see. So I used to go to meet him after school. I used to see films on TVs. Because there's, how they put it out in showrooms, so something's playing on the TVs. Right. So just 2 movies. And my father was very big in electronic business back in the days. that he's the first one. What is VCR? You don't know the VCR?
Correct.
So VCRs to be rented out. If you remember, but many people afford it.
Yes.
So these electronic stores used to rent out VCRs per night. And my father was kind of pioneer in that. So he's from Dubai, used to get some high-tech VCRs and was thin. And the VCRs were lying in my house, in my father's office. There used to be those cassette that, I don't know, do you have cassette?
Tapes of
Tapes we call cassette.
Right.
So he used to play, he used to check the cassette has to go out. I used to watch the movie. So I've seen, when I was young, I remember very clearly, used to watch some film, Mard,
Yes.
100 times. Because he used to check before sending guys out. To check this tape. So I used to see scene. And then of course, my mother's side, my mom was a very big time movie buff. And that kind of influenced me into the business. Because you have to watch movies, I believe. Yes. If you're not watching movies, I don't think you start dreaming something which you're not living. And I started living that. And yeah, it influenced, but I never wanted to be in the business. I never wanted to do a film business because we don't come from that background.
Okay.
We come from a different business we have done. But movie business, first of all, I think a lot of people don't understand. They don't consider it a business. It's a passion before. And then when I was growing up, I realized I like watching movies. I like films. But I didn't know how to get into it and what to do about it because I'm not from film background. And those things happened and
So very interesting what you said. Definitely, we would like to know how did you cross that bridge. So I'll come to that very soon. But since you talked about watching movies, was it only Indian films or was it also Hollywood?
No, not really. When we were growing up, I think we were growing up same age, in 80s, 90s, we only had Indian movies, and that too we had this print system. The print has to move from one theatre to the other theatre.
Yes.
So you did not get the shows. Shows only one show in a day. The print has to move from this city to in city itself.
Correct.
I remember back in the days. So English movie not available for us. I remember seeing these kids today. They're so lucky. Like now they're exposed. They can watch any cinema in national language. So movies, English used to was very rarely.
Rarely.
Often was Hindi. I would watch only Hindi. And that time, I would say, new release was 6 months old. I don't remember those times.
Yeah.
Used to travel.
I had to go all the way to town.
Right? But so those are the days. So I think I've seen Hindi film, very Hindi films. I've watched Hindi film in the 90s. When I was started going in my teens, that's when I was exposed to English cinema. Then I started watching English film as well. And I think my first English film I watched in theatre was Titanic. First English film ever in theatre. Because it was cassette and then we had these DVDs and DCDs. But I think Titanic was first film I remember clearly watching it in Regal Cinema in South.
Wow.
Of course, I still there. So that's just Hindi film. It's what I'm impressed with. Which is why I keep telling them, they just make commercial masala film. Because we're still the same. We're not changing the audience I believe. We watch English films, we do get influenced, but all of it we are into very culturally driven, emotionally driven, I would say.
Right. Let's go back to a little bit about your, your family life. How did your family react when it comes to, for example, movies and all? Your parents were supportive, like you said, but then you got married, and then now you have kids. Are they also interested in movies like the way you are? So when you go home, do you share with your family, your wife about movies? And does that also kind of decide on what kind of movies you want to do? Because I've got small kids, and I would not want to be making movies which may be maybe monetary wise very lucrative, but may not be where not the whole family can sit and watch. So do you have decisions like this, or it's completely you separate the two?
Like the way you started the question, I don't think any family in India reacts very well when you say what you can do from business. So everyone in India, I don't know why, but people don't perceive it as a profession. They perceive it as a part-time job, a passion, which will die in a few years. That's what every family believes in. And that's what they tell everyone, okay, I'll give you 3 years. Just do whatever you want to do. If you can't make it, come back to a profession or career or family business. So initially, yeah, they had this thing, okay, why are you getting into a very risky business? It's a very risky business from our side. And there's no surety in this business. I would say that it's very, very unsure. When it comes to anybody, that be an actor, a director, a producer, anyone is professional. You're asking every day to make sure, or making sure, I would say, or making ends meet in a way. But when I started off, my family was, I wouldn't say they were against it, but they're not in it as well. So you try it out, you give you used to it, and if you think you're succeeding or you can succeed, and we see a growth or some amount of success in this profession, you can continue. And I started off on my own as I went from a family background of film business. And I got into the films. It took me a little time to understand the business. Because when you're an outsider, it takes time. Because for people who have formed this business, or who have been in the profession or business for a longer time, they're easy to access things. Accessibility is a key in our business. You can't access actor, you can't access directors, you can't access studio. I think I'm in a film. So it took me a little time. But having said that, my family was pretty supportive after a point. They realized that I really want to do this. And I'm good at it. Not you will start making films the first year. Yeah. But they realized one period of time when I was doing it, I was sitting down to trying to do this. I'm trying to make this film. I'm trying to start this story or my company. So they're understanding it when I was explaining them. But slowly they accepted it. And they realized that this is a business. It's a profession. And it can be a full-time profession which can go on. And I believe our business has a legacy. We can have a legacy in this business. Not many businesses can have. You leave something behind that people can remember you. And my family can understand that. Yeah, of course, my kids can lead on the business already. They're very young now. One is 9 and one is 7. But I don't take decision on anyone's opinion, honestly. When I do my films, I think and I believe in the kind of films I want to make, And I'm making films for the audience, for the larger audience, not for family or my kids. They can have certain type of choice or liking for cinema or the kind of films they want to watch. But that's not the ulterior motive of me making films. So any filmmaking for that matter.
Sure.
I believe when I make a film, it has to be a film which has a universal approach. Anyone and everyone can watch it. And having said that, of course, monetary wise, will make money. But film will only make money if you make a good film. A bad film cannot make you money or repetition. So yeah, they don't influence my ideas. But my wife is pretty educated. So the background on the films, I believe it is female-centric. So I take opinion away. What do you watch it? It's a female-centric film. And I figure at home, who watches a movie. So I ask her, like, will you watch this film if I make it with this female protagonist? And this is the idea, core idea of it. I get a feel of it, but I do what I do eventually. Even she said no, I'm nothing. But a lot of times she comes to a lot of time I go to her for a creative discussion. We sit and chat on films. A lot of times she has a very different opinion, thought, and perspective from her. But she not film. She didn't talk films.
And what was her background?
Basically, she was a psychologist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was a psychologist, special needs educator. And of course, doing that, and she was in fashion as well. She was a fashion designer. She had all the interiors of office and houses. So yeah, she really creative that way. But the perspective she comes up with, and she tells me, I say, oh, I get that, second thought of the film.
Yeah.
So she is an audience. She is not a filmmaker.
Right.
So audience approach, she always tells me, this is good, this is not good. I like this one more than what you did last. Eventually make films, and everybody likes setting on cinema. So yeah.
All right, let's dive into your film production journey. I'm curious to know which was your first major project under Echelon Productions when you started off? And of course, where has it kind of journey been from there to today?
So we start a journey in film business. Start from a very low level or low down. We start on assistant, we start right down. You move around with people, you have a good PR. You meet actors, you meet directors, you try to create stories.
So you've done all of that?
All of that, you have to do it.
Wow.
Everyone has to go through it. I don't think anybody who's not from film business or background can just come in here and start a production company or become something they can't. Because the human experience, we have seen films on cinema, or celluloid. But how about seeing behind the scenes people and a friend, a mentor, Mr. Raj Toshi? He's a very renowned director. So I think in my early year, he was very supportive. And I've learned most of my filmmaking things from him. Storytelling, how to make a film, how to choose a film, what to look into a film. And he's very talented orator and narrator. He's the best narrator in India we have. Like a lot of people tell me that I've heard from him. So a lot of skill set I've learned on my way from all my seniors around, all my producer friends, all my director friends. And as slowly I realized that I can do this. I was a small part of big films initially, but then eventually the time, I kind of had a time and came that I can do it on my own. So I started Blank as the first big film. It's a big action film game.
Who was in Blank?
I had Sunny Deol, Rakshay Kumar in the film.
Oh, lovely.
So Sunny Deol was playing protagonist in the film.
Okay.
We were launching an antagonist in the film that was Karan Kapadi, but actually he was the hero of the film. It was a very unconventional action thriller done by Sunny Sir and Karan. And Akshay was a part of the film. He did a song for us, okay, and he was promoting it. He was an integral part of the film. So that was a big, major production, if I may say so.
Okay.
And then from there on, my second film was Blur with Tapsikan, the again thriller, a very unconventional Tapsikan film, very different for certain film. And then from there on, I think we are sitting on a lot of films, a lot of scripts. We have produced 3 films last year. We are planning to produce 6 films this year, and so on. So it's a very journey so far.
Fantastic. Amazing. Let's talk a little about the art and craft of movie making. How do you go about selecting your scripts? Like, do you personally kind of take the call, or there's a team that decides and then you kind of choose to produce that film?
So initially when I started off, I used to hear every film. I used to read every script, whatever come our way, been pitched to us as a company, and I used to go through it as to do like the initial stage I'm talking about. So every script used to kind of run by me. But as your work grows, you need to kind of dedicate to your job. You have to have a team. I have a very good team in the house. I have a very solid creative team in the house. And they kind of grew up with me in a way, if I would say so. They know the kind of film I want to make, the kind of films we bought out to put out the business as a production house. Where I want to create a niche for ourselves. I keep telling my team as well. The film has to be different. My trailer has to be different. My actor should feel, yes, Vishal is kind of something different from what I've heard from other producers like Bombay or directors in Bombay. So our whole idea, of course, a lot of producers will say this. We want to make a different film, but we're actually doing it. If you see Blur, if you see Blank, you get to see a film which we made last year. And these actors, all the actors who are part of these films, they've done a lot of work in the past. But when they do these films, they're very different from what they've done in the past. So we want to be known as a good content creator company where we are coming a different story every time. And the trailer has to be impactful, the trailer has to be exciting. If a trailer is exciting, the film doesn't work anymore because our audience are very short span. And you have to catch eyeballs and grab them. This is what I want to make, this is what I want to do. So idea is that, but now still, as a part of creative process, as you asked me, they kind of read it and they kind of run by me, and I know this is the story I want to make. Then I'm part of the story from word go. I want to hear it, I want to see what they're doing, what the writer wants to do, what the director's vision, how we can improve it. So we are a content creators. As a content creator, we are developing our own content. We take from scratch. I've taken scripts, like one of my team members came in 2 pages, so 2 pages of your life. Let me read it, let me just go through it. And 2 pages we have developed the film. And those films shaped really well. And the script which we have, we're sitting through it. I don't think a lot of people in Bombay have the kind of content we have. Because the team, because the creative team, because of, you have to give 100 scripts to find one good film already.
Yes.
That's the ratio we have. So yeah, I read every script. I'm part of every film of mine. I want to become creative inputs, not because I'm a director or writer, but I believe because we've seen so many films, and we are the generation we're going through 4 decades now, right? We've seen 4 decades.
Yes.
Where cinema has changed drastically from VCR tapes to the OTT.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of experience we have, but unfortunately, people who are mentors, they don't have.
Right.
They only seen it on screen, in theater. They've heard about it. They've lived it. So somehow it helps. A lot of director writers and think, this is good, Vishal. So I think I am adding to it. I've heard it somewhere, I've seen it somewhere. I've been a part of that event, I've been a part of that life, which you're hearing it and writing it, but you've seen it. So I think experience matters. So I'm part of every film, and I think when we choose film, it's all about a different story, how my actor will be excited, how my audience will tap into it, everyone versus. Because we have to make a difference in cinema and as a production company in a business. Okay.
Vishal, let's get into the inside of the film industry. How do you see the Indian film industry evolving, especially with the the rise of OTT platforms and the global audience? Need to understand the whole economics of this business. How do you de-risk? If you could share. According to me and a lot of people, movie industry is very risky. A lot of people have made money. Like there have been films like Pushpa, which is like 1,500 crores. Of course, Gadar, Sunny Deol, and then we have Pathan and of course horror comedy as well, which I will also talk about, which has crossed 500 crores. But at the same time, there are a lot of films which have lost money, a lot of money, big films. How do you kind of navigate this without losing money at the same time making money for the production house as well as for your investors and plus the audience also enjoys the movie? How do you kind of balance it?
I think I start from the first, how it used to happen in the past. When I started business machine, we were totally dependent on theatrical. The film has to be a box office numbers for us to kind of make money for films and taste ourselves back in the days. So totally dependent on a film has to be a hit film, a flop film. That's how people know what a flop and a hit film. This word has come from there. So the whole total responsibility of film was on box office. Okay. And we were selling satellites from TV channels we're talking about, and music here and there. But as time changes, as we came to the business, and the time is changing, and our cinema was evolving, we got this new avenue for revenue is OTT platforms.
Right.
And the rise of OTT platforms today is humongous. So basically, we will coexist. We'll not go anywhere. The theaters won't go anywhere, audiences are not going to go anywhere. We'll coexist. The only thing is, audiences have kind of figured out now, this is an OTT film. I watched OTT. This is a big spectacle film. I'm going to go to the theater and watch it. I want to enjoy that. But a small screen does not give the experience. The euphoria of a film, film goers, the audience, the feel. So it's in the West as well. If you see West, they heavily depend on OTT and theater.
Yes.
So Marvel, also good films, watched in theaters. But smaller films, so thrillers. For a small film, I would say, OTTs, like HBO and Netflix and Amazon are from West as well.
Right.
Now, having said that risk, there's no risk in this business. We've pursued very long. I've seen a lot of people ask, a lot of business. I don't know about different business. Very risky business. We are that generation of producers. We de-risk first. I think all the producers of my age, they're younger than me, we de-risk our film first. Why am I saying de-risking? Because there's so many avenues we've got. So revenue, we have OTTs primarily, then we have satellite, then we have music, then we have courses. Likewise, we have got some 72 rights to license to make money in our film. And then the last one is box office. We are not dependent on the box. Of course, having said that, we want to make money because the reputation of film, the verdict of the film is from box office. That's a bigger for us. But OTT films, which are only in OTT, it's about a good film or a bad film, not a flop or a hit film. So this is where our generation of producers start a film. You have satellite channels, music channels, you have distributors only part of the film. So it's all about making good film with a face who is recognizable, whom you can bet your money on. So yeah, I think we have never lost confidence to it. And that's a tagline I always tell investors that we make money, you make money, but you never lose business. So you never lose for sure. So that's the tagline we have. And I believe investors can put in money in this business. It's a corporate business now. It's a very structured, corporatized business, which is not. But 10 years ago, we never had corporates, we never had investors in here, we never had people doing pre-sale deals back in the days. We have it now. Only distributors used to give some money for some territories back in the days. But today, start a film, announce a film, and they want to put a slate because they need content. OTT cannot exist without us. We cannot exist without them. It's like they're correlated to each other.
Right.
They need content every week. Their audience back to their OTT or platform to watch it. And for that, they need a content creators. They need filmmakers. They need producers. They make films for them. That's where we come in handy. We have to make good films for them. They have to buy films from us. So that's the thing that's happening. Yeah, it's a very good time for the business, I would say. There got so many players, so much influx of money. In fact, if I may say so, we have less producer to make content today. But every OTT platform is talking to us and finding producers, making directors a producer, making showrunners a producer, that you produce a film, or you produce a show. Why? We don't have producers in Bombay. 2025 tops. We're actually in legit work in Bombay today. But how many producers can actually cater to all the platforms we have, all the studios we have, all the theaters we have? We can't. It's a huge demand for content, good content, I would say, and huge demand for producers who can kind of give them deliveries of good content. So here we are. I think next 3 years down the line, we have a lot of money coming in our business, a lot of platforms coming to Bombay. You already know Netflix, Amazon, Z5, Hotstar, Jio, a few more coming. Very soon there will be an announcement. So then by end of second or third day from now on, there will be some 6-7 more platforms coming in, more MNC coming in, more venture capitalists coming in. Because it's a structured business. It's a business where we all can make money, we can never lose money, even from flop film. Right. Because it's a bad film, not a flop film. It's changed. Which is why every producer, I don't know if you remember, back in the days, they used to make only a film or two. I don't know if you remember, till 2014-15. But now, if you look at any producer who's legitimate in the business, who has been in this for 5-10 years, they make 8 films, 9 films, 10 films, 12 films, OTT 2, the 22.
Hedge the risk?
Not as the risk, but demand.
Oh, okay.
And it's a risky business. Why would I make 12 from 10 films a year? It's such a risky business. But I know I will never lose money. I'm not going to lose money. The only thing you have to control budgets of film. You have to understand the marketability or feasibility of a certain value of an actor, which actor you're working with. If you know that and your numbers are right, you're not going to lose money. You can only make money if you're successful. It was in theater or OTT, but you not lose money. This is why people are trying to make a slate of films in a year, so they can hedge the risk earlier. They can go back to platforms, satellite, music channels, and distributors. They make the money from there. And if, of course, out of 10, 12, 3, 4 will work, because films always works in Bombay, or in India, I would say, and they make money. It's sitting on there. A lot of producers started 4-5 years ago, 7 years ago. Today they are 1,000 crore worth. Which business will come with some 40-50 crore can become 1,000 crores in 5 years' time? I don't know any. We're not putting a manufacturing plant, we're not opening a showroom, we're putting infrastructure. But we start from a piece of paper or script and go to the floor, make a film, you have an IP, and this business can actually go on for generations. There's a business where you can have royalties after royalties. If you have your own IPs and you can license every 5 years. I've known friends from Juhu, their parents were like producer directors back in the days. The kind of money they make every year, that was not the money put in to make the film.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So let's say the film was made 100 rupees back in the days. Okay. Today, every year they get 100 rupees as royalty in licensing of satellite digital music rights. If I take one old song, remake today, I have to pay 1 crore to 2 crore per song just to use the rights. I'm doing one more film right now, okay? It's 1.52 crore only for usage right of that song.
So when you say usage wise, you use the lyrics?
Use the lyrics, lyrics and tone and melody. You use melody and production of the whole song you can use it.
Right.
Whichever way you want to use.
Okay.
But that's the quality of pay back to the company which owns it. So imagine the power of an IP or a royalty we have in this business, which business has it.
Right.
So that's where we are.
Okay, so I'll come about the investment part of it soon. But there's a trend. Recently, you see South films are doing extremely well. For example, PGF, for example, Pushpa. And then there's a trend for horror comedy. You see this trend continuing, or is just a phase in the film industry? And then, of course, we'll go back to maybe rom-com. Because if you are like in any startup, you have to invest in the next trend. Back in the days, if you had seen AI as an opportunity. Today, every VC is going after an AI project or an EV project. So, what is the future trend in the film industry, movie industry?
So answer the question first. Pushpa, RRR, KGF, these 3-4 films you're talking about, and big films. They put us on a global stage, I would say. The Indian film industry, I would say, not Bollywood, but Hollywood. But having said that, they also have the downfall. They have 100 films which are from last year. So because we are pan-India, because we're a North Indian audience, I would say, needs to know this pan-India. We only lapped on the film which actually work here. We know about that. So they are also struggling, the way we were struggling. This post-COVID, I would say. Pre-pandemic, we started all the films pre-pandemic. Okay. And pandemic, everything changed for us. The audience changed, the audience evolved. They started watching Korean, Spanish, and French, and English, and God knows which language they watched.
Yes.
So when they consumed that cinema, they came out of COVID, they were a different audience altogether. They expected the same level of content and the quality, but audience were understanding they are working on $100 million budget. We are working on a 100 crore budget, I would say, so for comparison, I would say,
Right.
or bigger film. But we are nowhere close to the budgets they had. We are nowhere close to the technology they were using. So they didn't understand that. Audience doesn't understand that. They don't get it. What are the budgets of film and how we're making it, which technology is not here, we don't have it. They have it. But one thing, having said that, every business or every 5 to 10 years, this film doesn't go through a change of content. Because the 80s were full of masala film, 90 came all South Indian remakes. Then 2000 kicks in, all Shah Rukh Khan era of love stories and rom-coms and all comedies of Hera Fairies of the world. Then 2011 came in, no rom-coms were, again action came in. So there's a phase, it's a phase. Because there's a reason behind it. The audience are growing. The kids started to theatre after 18, 19. They are romantically inclined. And they're this romance world, right? They like more romantic films. They don't watch stuff which they like that. And they start growing. They go till 25, 27. They're going to turn to a man or woman. Everything has changed. There's anger or their ambition, something in them just changed. Now they want to see films that resonate with them. That's how it is coming to you. That keeps changing, keeps churning out. And our film industry, all the content you've seen in the past 2 years, I would say, it was all pre-pandemic, greenlit, or started, or made during pandemic. Just come out, didn't worked, and people are still figuring it out. But now, all the content we are creating as a filmmakers in Bollywood, South is also struggling, if I may say so. They're struggling with content. There is 3-4 IPs they're working on, 3-4 films, but they're struggling miserably. They're figuring out what should do. But they were trying to a template of KGF and Pushpa and other films. I won't say Bahubali and Anara, because Rajamouli, what he has created was created a havoc in the country and everywhere. Because what he's creating, nobody's even thinking about it.
It's like a benchmark.
Yeah, benchmark. And the guy is a genius. I would say the genius guy sitting out there and making 3-4 year, a film for 3-4 years, a story which I would ever narrate you as a story, you say, why would I make this film? But the guy's doing all of his own. And he made a spectacle out of it. Because his vision is he's a visionary. His vision is very big. He's a scale guy, which you all need. So South, I would say, will go on a couple of more years. But trending there's a few films which will work. And not all the films which will work here. And North, like our Bollywood, I would say, Hindi-speaking audience are up again back to kind of experiment with genres. It's not doing it anymore. Only romantic, only horror, only comedy. Now blending two genres. There are romantic thriller, there are horror comedies, there are action comedies. So, if I may say so, Western doing this very well, since years. They were doing it really well. They're blending two genres, making a film out of it. And I would say, I understand AIs, but AI won't be able to take over the creative mind and the personal touch. Because AI will replicate, it's like factory. It's like robots. You can't have the same thing again and again and again. It will work for a couple of years because AI is new. They like it. You understand filmmaking. But I've seen some AI films made by people. But you miss that feel, that emotion. It's very emotional. It's very mechanical. You eventually go back to the same self telling you the beginning of how things started in you. The thing is that emotion, the culture, the relatability. You touch the right chord, you touch the heart of the audience and people out there. That AI can't do it. They can help you, It's like it can enhance something for you, improve something for you. Of course, technically better than what we are, but it won't take over. It can't take over actually.
It's all that. We have seen that a lot of movies, they are making part 2. जैसे कि भूल भुलैया part 2, part 3, पुष्पा also part 2. आपको लगता है कि we don't have enough good content, writers that are riding on the past success of the initial series and they're just making like part 1s and part 2. Is that another way to कि हम risk कम करें ताकि because people can relate to Pushpa 1 or people can relate to Bhool Bhulaiya 2, so the audience is already there for that.
Right.
So you know that इसमें risk कम है क्योंकि if people have liked that part 1 or part 2, they will most probably go for part 3. But then what's happening is me as an audience, I'm like, okay, fine, but do I really want to see part 3 if part 2 is already done? Because the originality, I'm not seeing anything new.
Right.
So what do you have to say on that?
No, honestly, it's come from West.
Okay.
They have been thriving on it. They're making money out of it. And there was loyal audience. There's the kind of merchandising they have, we don't have it in India. The kind of fan following they have, we don't have it in India. There's the transporting of it, Marvel films, any film you pick it up. They have made like 4, 5, 6, Fast and Furious 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can imagine the kind of audience we have.
Correct.
So what happens in sequels? Why we make it? Not because we don't have content,
Okay.
or we have lack of writer. No. Because we're an audience set for it. Who want to watch it again? They want to see it again. Like Pushpa, I love Pushpa. I love all those characters and that thing. I don't watch it again. So my thing is, you change the premise and you go back again, get better. Give it to your audience.
Right.
You have did a marketing of the film in the past, part one, if I may say so.
Yeah.
Done marketing, you have an audience, you have a budget. So you're just trying to make sure that you're monetizing it in sequel 2, 3, 4. Because that's set audience, which will go.
Right.
That's a good example of Pushpa 2. First was 150 crores.
Correct.
And the total 150 crore Pushpa in Hindi back in the days when it was released with COVID. I remember 150 was total number. Was some month or so, we haven't exactly remember what it was Pushpa's total number in Hindi was. But that was because I remember clearly the comparison, the total collection is first day collection of Pushpa. You know what I'm trying to say? So we want to catch that. We want people to relive that moment, the character, correct, and people like it. So my answer to that is that we should make more and more. It gives a way out for another industry that is merchandising, video games, AIs, VRs, everything. But they're one characters. People love characters. In the film, they're looking out for some character, someone who they relate to, they find to be aspirational, they can follow, they can relate, they like it, they fall in love with it. The characters they love. People take the characters from the film. Pushpa didn't stay in the guy home. And Bahubali they must have taken the micro factor from the scale of the film.
Scale,
Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Shah Rukh Khan becomes Shah Rukh Khan because people love it. Still love it. They watch this film, they go mad. They only look at him in the film. I don't think anybody else or anyone in the world was watching Shah Rukh Khan and all, but they only watch him. So that's the persona he had. So we love characters. We love watching characters in films. We should give it back to the audience until we end up doing some bad job in the film or the sequel. But there will be a lot more sequels you'll be seeing in the coming future. Because we have a set of rules. We can monetize it, we can get a different premise, we can take on, and we like to see sequels as well. Like when we're 2 and 3 works over.
Yep.
Like 3 years or 4 years apart from each other. It was 3 years apart from the release of 2 and 3. But third made more money than we made it.
Yeah.
And people went, and the first day was 35, 40 crores, which is a big number for this kind of genre. It was big. Now look at 3-2. 3-1 made 150 crores, 3-2 made 1500 crores.
Yeah.
Imagine comparison.
Yeah.
But people want to relive the moment. People, if it's a good film, they want to rewatch in a different packaging, I would say. So we shouldn't catch it. I don't think it's going to stop. And it should go on. And we should push it more. So we can also get into merchandising how West is doing. Right. How they're the theme parks, how they're the merchandising industry, we have gaming industry, the VRs. They're thriving on it. They're a huge revenue stream, which we don't have, unfortunately. We only have niche.
Yeah.
So only mature guys be working for us. You don't have any superhero kind of a hero for children or kids. I always see my kids buying stuff abroad when they go. They buy super stuff, and I look at them and say, I've never seen them buy anything in India for our heroes, right?
Yeah.
The last or first, I would say. So I want industry to push it towards this, so we can make all of our money together.
Vishal, how do you see yourself, Echelon Production, as a company vis-a-vis another big production house like Yash Raj? And also want to know, like, what is your next big project that you're planning?
So last year, I just said we have finished 3 films. One I did is Dhamaka, so it was now is Gulab. I've done one from Sunny Deol, Vishal Rana, it's a very different Sunny Deol film. Anyway. But another film, very, I would say, genre bending, experimental film is Rashi, from the lead. So this year we are planning some 6 films, but I'm most excited about the film was start in a couple of months. That is 2 powerhouses coming together. One is Mr. Sunny Deol, and he is himself is a legendary actor, his own genre. Now we have Abbas Mustan on board, who've proven themselves again and again and again. And I really love them because I love thrillers. So they are coming together for the first time. They never worked together before, ever. Together, it's been like they have 40 years of careers,
Right.
has 40 years plus career. So I'm very excited about the film. So it's an action thriller, big film, where there will be a lot of actors and of course, we dive into the film. I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to be a game changer for a lot of us together. Sunny Deol has never done something like this before. Abbas Mustan never done at this scale before. Of course, they've done a race, but it's 2 notch above race, I would say. So I can't talk much about film right now. But as an actor, also be announcing soon. Sunny Deol, and Abbas Mustan, etc. Very simple.
How do you see yourself and Yash Raj, like, in terms of your roadmap?
Okay.
Is there where you're moving towards?
Honestly, every producer in Bombay, they always tell you you want to work bad. That's the end game. So I would say I'll give to Adi for that. I know often, acting for friends. But I like the way he I love the way their man started the journey, where they are today. I would believe that's the end game for us because Yash Raj is the end game for a reason. It's the only studio who's self-sustainable. And we want to do that. Right now, we are content creators, we are producers, we are creating raw content, of course, good scripts. We're making films for us, for other people as well, for OTTs and for studios. But slowly, I want to move out of it and get into the space where I have my own floors, own studio floors, where I have a post-production setup with myself. I'm going to go out of it, where I have my own content creation team, where I have a writer's room set up there. We're churning out content after content. You can flesh out the best one that you want to work with. And moving on from there is next distribution. I want to get into distribution of all film. I should be distributing my film in the future. I want to have my own music label in the future. I want to be self-sustaining studio model where everything is under one roof. Like I've seen in Yash Raj, and the second I've seen, I've transported officially with rights. I went to meet Group lesson. Get off. Go to your off, you enter studio, come out of the film in half. Everything in the studio. Everything. One man army do festival was very transport taken out. But you can see the studio setup, the facilities he has, and how he created. It's commendable. So I want to do that. I want to replicate that in India. Without man and the studio and everything out there. So we can have films in our control where I should be living on my royalties. So the generations can reap benefits from this business. And we all, as a family, should actually take the right decision. Get into film business. And our generations can kind of get into this very effortlessly. And we don't have to be dependent on anybody else, like an outside agency, or say a music label, a studio, or XYZ. You just license our films to already platform and satellite, and that's it. That's all. That's all. We put in money and we get money. So we don't share a pie with anybody else. We're the sole owner of it. And then, like, right, there's sequels and prequels and rides. So you're sitting on a jackpot, I believe. One film can actually, it's a hit film, it's a right-wing hit film, can actually kind of give enough money to the whole generation. One right film.
Like DDLJ.
DDLJ. Like Three.
Yeah.
I'm giving example like what Karan did back in the days when he started off. Few films with Indus Dhamaka and it's out there. One or two films. When you aim, you only have to be ambitious enough, rational enough to make those 2-3 good films initially. Of course, you make good films very well as well. But 2-3 landmark films for you to establish yourself in the business.
Right.
That's where I see my company in the future, from a niche content creative production house to a studio model, where we should be self-sustainable, dependent, and we should be helping empowering new talent, writers, directors, actors. So we have the capacity to launch them. We are a brand, people are recommend that this is the brand is launching them and this is the brand. We're very accessible. People are starting how many meetings to do. And I meet everyone. If anybody in the office, I will meet personally for even 5 minutes. And we have given opportunity to a lot of writers and a lot of directors. I've launched almost 4 directors till now. I'll be launching 7 more in coming 2 years. So I'll be launching 10 new directors for the industry. I was also saying, shout out my interview once. He was saying, I was sending this interview. I think it was DD, I don't know, DD was there. I used to go to every office twice a day. Oh, twice a day. He used to go to every office twice a day, thinking if he had missed me in the morning, we'd meet in the evening. The main guy. And every office, I remember that 20-30 offices in Bombay. That I don't know how many were there, it must be 10-15, but a lot more. But he didn't give up. He kept meeting them. And I remember, I know Sharp's very dear friend, Vivek Basman. So told me Sharp sent 4 films. One after another. So they could see you have to have fire in your belly. You have to the urge, spirit, ardent. And again, I said, you have to keep trying. People get very disappointed, It will grow very easily. They hang the shoes very soon. I think you should just keep running. Don't hang the shoes.
So that's a very interesting input, audience.
Keep trying. I would just keep trying and don't give up and you achieve. Right. I've seen a lot of actors, a lot of directors, a lot of writers journey remind we did not give up. I would have given initially 3 years of my career. I said, I can't do this. I'm not able to achieve what I wanted. I'm not there where I want to be. I'm not meeting right people, I guess. It takes time to find right people, right offices, right channel.
I think you are a living example. With no movie background today, you have reached where you are with such mega movie stars like Sunny Deol, Akshay.
Again, I just said, don't give up.
Yeah.
Because wake in the morning and you promise yourself, get to down meet 10 people. And out of the 10, one might help you. One might be a ladder to success. One might ladder to my next level. I didn't stop. I think I must have met some thousands of people initially. I met everyone, everywhere, wherever anyone asked me to meet for film. And I met, and this is why now if you ask me, everyone, most of them in the business. Because I met everyone back in the days when I started.
I'll come to a rapid fire round soon. And we'll talk about this. Just one last question. I need to understand. We at RedCarpet, we help our community to invest in startups, in fractional properties, and we are also trying to look at movie as a funding opportunity for them. If somebody was to invest in a movie, or let's say if they're interested to invest in Echelon Productions, what can they expect? And if they were to kind of crowdfund, let's say, are you open to these kind of methods for your forthcoming movies?
So what happened in our business, the writing side, we always go writing most of investors invest in our business. Every business needs capital by investment, like anyone. But you need investors who are really passionate. I'm not saying very passionate, but really passionate about the business. But this is not a business where you are selling cement or stealing what I am. Selling dreams here. So when you sell dreams in a business, I need somebody who's partnered with me in selling their dream. If they can't dream, this is not a business for them. So you have a little passion about it. This is why we are here. Very passionate about our business. When you invest with us, I always say that for the investor community, I'm working with the platforms I'm working with. We do have investors on board, My thing is, we don't just one. Because I calculate my risk, I deal my film, and about the returns, we are sitting in a business where sky's the limit. Like the example of Sri One, it was made 15 crores, made 150 crores. Who knew it? Because we don't know the outcome of our films and the numbers of we can make. We don't know as a filmmaker. We know how to de-risk our film. We know what kind of incentive we'll have. We know a basic minimal margin we'll make as a production company.
So can I say that if somebody invest with Echelon, you can de-risk it in the sense that profits is of course unpredictable, but at least the capital is kind of in a way the risk is mitigated such that the capital is protected. Can I say that? Not guaranteed, but protected.
You're right. So I'll give a line for that.
Yeah.
If you can't de-risk the capital of any film in today's time, you don't make the film. You're making a film where you're de-risking the capital. You're only making those films where you believe this capital is going to come back.
And what is the kind of in terms of when you say capital, what is the amount that somebody would be investing in a movie? What would be the check size, for example?
There's no limit to it. I can't start from where it's like, it can be anything. It can be the smallest number possible. If you really want to be part of the film, and I really want the opportunity, a lot of people are coming into this business. So they join business, they come with us, they experiment, explore, understand. So they can any number to entry point, to enter the business. And slowly they can grow and they can grow with us. So I can't pinpoint or pick a number. I just want to see who wants to be part of it, the journey of us. And the sky's the limit. There's no limit to the budget these days. You're sitting on an 800 crore itinerary today. So any number will be small, any number will be very big first. So this is where I can't pinpoint, but any number is still go first.
Right, I'll get to the rapid fire round with you. Tell me 3 male actors whom you would like to work with, or if you have already worked with, you enjoy working with.
Wow. Sunny Deol, Akshay Kumar, Tiger Shroff.
Tiger Shroff. These are the ones you have already worked with.
2 of them I worked with, Tiger and still planning. So
Planning.
Yeah, that's my work together in future. Very, very forward for me.
Okay. What about 3 female actresses?
Alia Bhatt?
Alia Bhatt you've worked with, or you
I've not worked.
You want to work with?
I want to work with.
Okay.
Alia Bhatt, Kiara Advani, not worked with.
Not worked with. Okay. Pretty sad. All 3 not worked with. Okay. Name 3 you worked with.
Tapsi, Cooperation, Sonakshi.
Okay. Nice. If you were not a film producer, what would you be doing?
Nothing. I don't know. I'll be doing some business, but I don't think, if you ask me now, I don't think I would do anything else. This effortlessly and religiously and putting all my heart and soul. I don't think, now I can think, if I'm not a filmmaker, I would do anything else. No. I'll just be an engineer. I'm an engineer of education. I'm an engineer then, working in some company. Don't know where.
If somebody had to just pick you up, or rather not pick you up, but let's say move Echelon from Bollywood to Hollywood, would you say yes to it, or would you say no, I'll still stay in Hollywood?
My roots are here. I like it here. And I really like Hindi film more than English film any day.
Okay.
Any kind of point of time, if you take me to tickets to a hit Hindi film or English film, I'll go for Hindi. I really love Bollywood. I love Hindi films. I breathe films, I would say so. I will not pick Bollywood. Yeah. I'm not very Hindi films. I'm happy one.
Okay. My last fire round question is, if you were to pick a South hero to work with you, which maybe not one, or it would not be fair. Let's say 3. Which 3 you would want to kind of work with?
Allu Arjun, Yash, Vijay.
Okay.
These 3.
That's all right. Thank you so much
Thanks a lot.
for sharing, Vishal. I think the audience is going to learn everything about what this movie
I
is.
hope they done right.
And guys, you have an opportunity to invest over here with Echelon Productions. They're making some great movies. I will be sharing all the links of how you can reach to Echelon Productions. And we look forward to bringing more of such content to our viewers.
Thank you so much for
again.
having me over. Thanks a lot for being so much.